Hello guys, Wilson here again for another quick tutorial update. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are having a great day or a great night. And please, after this video, after you watch this video, let me know if it was helpful, if you really understood how the risk management works, okay? Because this is something that we must nail and master as soon as possible, okay? And let's do it. So let's start again with our model. So in the left, professional trader or investor. Let's say his capital is $100,000. He only trade using leverage. Okay, so it's basically the exchange or the broker. He's giving us money to use this money to make profits or not. This is exactly the same way bankers or the smart money folks do their stuff. And which way is this? They are going to use other people money to make their money. You guys see? So this is the smart money approach. When the retail trader is basically asking for his parents or some friend, a rich friend, asking for money to make his trades. It's a totally different scenario. So we only trade scenarios with around 1 to 3 and sometimes 1 to 2. Yes, when things are very boring and sad, there is nothing. We know that maybe 1 to 2 we can do this. Okay, for chances for a win. Our risk exposure per trade, it's 1 to 3%. Okay, 3% should be the maximum, not never beyond it. So let's say 100,000%, 1% equals $1,000. That would be the size of our liquidation range when we are trading future contracts. Okay, and so $1,000 using 25x leverage equals the total amount, $25,000. So the broker or the exchange is giving us money to use this money to trade. Okay, for people like us, this is a blast. But for people who have no idea, this can be their grave. That's how, believe it or not, a lot of people lose everything trying to leverage trade. So by trading 1 to 3 scenarios, the 12% equals $3,000. Okay, so this would be like a 12% move in the market. So let's say XRP, we longed XRP using 25x or let's say 35x, and then we are going to make $3,000 on this move. Sometimes back in the day we made much more than this, but this is just one example for a specific scenario. Okay, so any small move using leverage will pay 12% plus. Actually, it's not a small move, but for example, if we are talking about $600, $900, $1,000, it's not a small move, it's a big move. Okay, but yeah, I think you guys got this. So in the other hand, what the retail trader does, his capital is $100,000. He doesn't use leverage, which means he must hold the coins. Will trade any scenario, especially when he's in fear or doubt or don't know what to do, the market direction, etc. He will use a technical stop loss. The true technical stop loss, it's around 10%. I'm using 5 as a because I'm being conservative. Okay, but back in the day I was using 3%, 3 to 5. So the risk exposure per trade is 100% of his capital, which is very risky and doesn't give any room to try different moves, you know, because when we are using 1% exposure, we have 99% firepower to try other markets or other coins or other pairs. You know, for example, 1% on crypto, 1% on stocks, and 1% on forex. And we still have 97% ammo to, you know, to do our stuff. So, risk exposure per trade 100%. Otherwise, he can't be profitable because his risk is always going to be high. Okay, so $100,000 per trade with a 5% stop loss. He's willing to lose $5,000 if he's wrong. So it's a 5% in a single move, while we only lose 1% or 2 or 3. Okay, so in 12% on the $100,000 he must made $12,000. So by risking 5,000 for a 12,000 profit scenario, it's 2 and 4% odds in the long run. So it's not a big deal at all. Okay, so now let's go for a quick example. Also, some people were asking about stop loss and you know, and let's address this. So here on the left we have BitMEX. Oops, not ETMEX, BitMEX. And here on the right we have the Forex market. So let's say our standard for BitMEX is X25. Let's say we are only trading Bitcoin. Okay, so let's go for this Bitcoin, and 25x equals standard. And here it's so when it comes down to Forex, you will have a standard leverage which is tied to your account. When you sign up, you will know, for example, usually there are 3 different levels. One is for, you know, like beginners with small capital. There is an intermediary one, and there is one that is called like a pro, okay, which is high standards. And so let's say here it's 1 to 100, okay? And then you have your volume, which is the size of your trade, how much money you are going to put on your trade. So for example, 0.25 or the 5 or 500, okay? So for this scenario right here, let's start with BitMEX. So when we are going to place our trade, let's say my 1% is 1 Bitcoin, just to make this easier to understand. So 1 Bitcoin in contracts at 25x will give me a liquidation range around $350. So what does it mean? It means our liquidation will be set by BitMEX by default. Liquidation. And so we don't have to work this out, because my 1% on BitMEX, it's the amount of money I'm setting when I place the trade. And then BitMEX is telling me where my liquidation is going to be. Okay, so this is very, very simple. And here on Forex, let's say I'm going to place my my trade and about the stop loss or the liquidation. And let's say here I'm using 1 Bitcoin. It can be in Bitcoin or in dollars. So for example, right now Bitcoin is $11,500. So 1 BTC or $11,500. So when we place our trade on Forex, he doesn't know what liquidation we want. because he doesn't set the liquidation range. So on Forex, we must use the stop loss. So basically, it's not a stop loss, it's our liquidation range. We can call liquidation or stop loss. But by the end of the day, so let's say here, liquidation or stop loss must be 1%. Okay, so by placing a stop loss, it must be 1%. Doesn't matter the volume of your trade. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's 0.25, 5 or 500. Okay, so if your 1% is 11,500, doesn't matter the volume you are using, your liquidation or stop loss that you are going to place must be worth your 1%, which equals this guy right here. Okay, so now let me make a draw here. Maybe I can make this thing easier to understand. Just a second. Where's the tools? Yeah, so right here. So again, on BitMEX, the liquidation range is going to be based on the 25x or the leverage amount, right? So at 25x equals $350, and this is by default. Sometimes it's a bit higher, sometimes a bit lower, but it's basically around the same number. And so when it comes down to 50x, the liquidation will falls to 175, 150. Same rules, they never change. Just a second. Yeah. And so here for the Forex, it's based here, right here. So our liquidation, our 1% will be measured here on the liquidation or stop loss we will set. So my 1% liquidation range. Just a second. Okay, so my 1% will be triggered by a liquidation or stop loss order. Okay, and the amount of money I'm going to put on this trade will be measured where? Right here, in the volume size of your position. So this is like a multiplier. Okay, so oops, what? Okay, so just one example for BitMEX, and I will give you one example for Forex. Okay, so let's start with BitMEX. Just one moment, please. Yep. Oops. My new mouse will arrive soon. This one is not the best, not the worst. Yeah. So let's say this is our long position. What? Okay, I can place the thing here. Second. Okay. Long X25. Yeah, so I'm going long on this range. Let's say it is 11 and 500. Let's say this is for Bitcoin, okay? Yeah. So by default, when you place before you are going to place your order, a pop-up will show on a second. Yeah. So a pop-up will show on BitMEX telling you all the details about this trade. And so the pop-up will tell you that your liquidation range will be right here, which is going to be, for the sake of this example, 11 and 200 by default. Okay, And this range right here equals your 1%. And why? Remember, when you are going to place your order, you have to insert the amount of Bitcoin worth dollars equals to your 1%, 2%, or 3%, right? So for example, let's say 40,000 contracts in Ethereum worth 1 Bitcoin, or $11,500. This is going to be your 1%. Do you got it? And so here is your liquidation worth 1%. But let's say we go up to so it's 369. It would be 12 and 400. Let's change the number here. So if you make it, your long make it to $12,000 and 400. What? Second. Yes. So you long it. Give me the green, please. Yes. And you make your way to 12 and 400. This equals 300% move, which is 3 to 1. So you are willing to lose 1%, and you are for that 3 to 1 reward scenario. So we are willing to win 3, and we are willing to lose 1. Okay? And so for Forex, just a second. So when we are going to buy or sell, which is long or short, the first thing it will be asked if it's a instant order at the market or a future order at a specific target. But for the sake of this example, let's say we are going for a market order, instant order. You will be asked about the stop loss, which is your 1% risk management. And let's say it is this guy right here. For the sake of this example, let's say this is the euro. Okay, let's say it's 1 and 35. So we are going to long, right? And this should be right here. Yes, so we are going to long at 135 for the euro, and the volume I'm going to use, let's say it's 1. So after you measured and you did your homework, you already know if 1 is your volume or 0.25 or 0.5, because the higher the number for the volume, the more aggressive it will be. Okay, so a quick example here. Let's say this is your long at 5. Your 1% can be very, very close. Okay, and this is very, very dangerous. But if you are using, let's say 1, your liquidation will be far, far away. So the idea is, it can't be too close and can't be too far away. There is a mid-term, which is according to your 1% and also your volume as well. So this is your homework. We have a different number for all of us, okay, because some have a bigger capital, others have a small capital, so it's based on your numbers. Okay, it's your homework, and once you find this number, you are done. That's the kind of thing you do a single time, and you are going to use the same rule for the rest of your life. A second. Yeah. So I placed I entered the market on euro at 135 using 1 as volume. And so my stop loss, which is going to be my liquidation, is going to be right here. Liquidation. So can you guys see? It's the same thing in a different way. So BitMEX will ask you how much you are willing to buy, how many contracts you want to buy, and then she will give you a automatic liquidation range based on the 25x, the amount of leverage. While on Forex, every single trade he will be asking you the volume, which is the amount of contracts you are going to buy. So for example, if you are going to use, let's say, one as volume, and it is a long, you are buying $100,000 worth of contracts, dollar contracts. And if you are going for 10 as volume, you will be buying $1 million worth of US dollar contracts. Okay, and then you choose 1, 0.5, 0.25, 500, doesn't matter. You will use this number because you must tell what number it is, and then right after you will have to place a stop loss, a liquidation, because Forex is not like BitMEX or Binance, for example. Okay, you have to specify your 1% range. Okay, you can't enter the trade without a liquidation or a stop loss on Forex. Okay, because if from a sudden let's say the euro dumps, you will be down below with a huge loss below your 1%. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and etc. But remember, this is why we use the stop loss on Forex, but we don't use it on crypto. Okay? And so, if you are trading crypto on the Forex option, for example, let's say only Bitcoin. Okay, so you're only trading Bitcoin on a crypto broker, in a Forex broker. You are going to do exactly like this. And if you do for both, you know how it works. And that is something that you have to learn a single time in your whole life. And you will carry this knowledge for all your days. Okay, so this is very simple, very easy to understand. I know this can be overwhelming for the new members, especially the ones that never traded future contracts, leverage, or margin trade. Okay, so before trading, folks, make sure you know your numbers and you made your homework. Okay, always. And also try to understand how your trading platform works. For example, BitMEX, Binance, or the MetaTrader, whatever. Okay, make sure run some tests. For example, on Forex, you can place orders far away the price, orders that you know is not going to be filled. Okay, and then you can manage your 1% in your stop loss. So you are placing a order that is not going to be triggered, and you will be asked to put the stop loss, and you can use like a handle number. Okay, and then the red line that's going to pop in the chart, if you roll the mice over it, it will display how much this stop loss is worth it. That's one of the ways you can use to measure your liquidation range. Okay, very easy stuff. There is another thing that we had to talk about. which is, oh, we already covered everything, I think. So it was the risk management stuff, and this example for the 1% in practice. Yep. So I think this is it, folks. Again, if you still have some doubt, go back, go into your trading platform, run some tests, because if you don't do it, you will be concerned or maybe lost on the first ones. Okay, practice is the best way in the learning process. Okay, so run multiple examples on the BitMEX. BitMEX is for free. You can just click buy or sell, and then you will be asked. Okay, so you're not going to trade at all. And Forex is the same thing. So for example, let's say this is Forex. Okay, and you want to understand your numbers. So this is the current price, and you want to understand how much is worth your 1%, right? So what you are going to do, you are going to place a long order right here. Let's say at let's say at 1 as volume. And then you will be asked about your stop loss, right? So you will look here on the right column in the price, and then you will do what? You will insert the number. So let's use 164 for this example here, 164 for your liquidation target. So this would be your stop loss in the Forex market. And when you roll over your mice over this line, it will pop a small notice telling you how much this range is worth. So let's say this is worth $1,000. You just find the first piece of your range. So if price goes down, you just lost $1,000 if your capital is $100,000. So you just found your 1%. Okay, but again, you can do the same thing. Here, for example, let's say this range is too far away. Okay, let's say we go for something like this in the halfway. Okay, so this will be, let's change the numbers just a second. So it's 1.97. If you double your volume, it's going to decrease your liquidation range, right? Because it's the double. So the previous line was where? Oops. What? Second. Yes. So this was the liquidation range for, give me the one please, for 1. And this here is going to be your liquidation range for 2. And let's say you go for 3. It's going to be even more wild, right? What? Second. So that's the kind of aggression when you increase your volume on the Forex options. Okay. Of course, this is only a simple example. Okay. But I believe now you guys are able to measure and understand better how this works. Okay. So this is a long video already, 30 minutes, but I believe I covered everything for this one. And you guys will find this video on the quick started room, which is for new all the new members, and especially for the ones who still are not 100% familiar with our method. Okay, so in if you guys have any doubt, let's talk about it in our chat. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys understood how this works. And yeah, let's keep doing our stuff. I will see you guys soon. Have a great day or a great night. Thanks again, and see ya.